Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Today we're at Baker's Green Acres and we're going to be talking about this guy right here. And if you can't see that, that's a milk cow. So we're talking about Mark going through his system, exactly how he milks and how he recommends you would if you're just starting a homestead and just got a cow. So I'm walking over right now. Let's get into it. All right, so step one of cow milking.
You gotta have the cows.
Gotta go get the cows.
Want to get milk?
It's Frankie. He's gonna go talk to her. Tell her to move.
They don't really love being milked. They just like a little bit of grain. And so the grain she gets is just a mix of whole grains. She only gets about that much per day.
Okay.
And it's just enough to entice her to come in. And there's a little bit of molasses in here, so it's actually sweet. A little bit of corn, not much corn. And that goes right in here. The way this works is she will come in here, she'll put her head through here so that she can get her grain. And then when she does that, I'll just slide this over, put this pin in, and that reminds her that she's got to stay
kind of stuck
in place, that she's kind of stuck there.
Gotcha.
And she is. I mean, she's strong enough she could rip this whole thing out if she wanted to, but we wouldn't be milking a cow that would do that.
Well-behaved girl.
Yeah, we want well-behaved cows. She knows where she's going. You can see she's anxious to go. And away she goes. This is the milker that we use. This one is called a pail milker. So the pail is separate from this unit right here, which is called the claw. And the claw has 4 cups on it. They call them inflations, and they go up and they hook onto the teats on the cow. All right, so the other part that goes with this is the compressor, and it's a vacuum compressor, and it'll make up to 14 pounds of vacuum. Have to get down here and clean her up a little bit just in case there's anything there that we don't want to have wind up in the milk. And this is just a slightly soapy solution that I use, and it does another thing. It kind of softens her up so that the milkers make really good suction on her. So while we're here, I'll show you what we do. We strip her out a little bit. So we strip out a little bit of milk. So we're getting the good stuff.
Okay. And that's just to clean anything that might be like in the end.
1, 2, 3, 4. So the other option while you're doing this is to milk her by hand. If I spend, let's say, a half an hour doing this, milking 2 cows, as opposed to 15 minutes, I'm in a lot better shape, you know, to do other things during the day. So a little bit of technology, I think, is a great thing. The downside of milking with equipment like this is it has to be thoroughly clean when you're done. That's the downside. So for me, to milk 2 cows and then clean this makes sense to me.
All right, so you have your milking station set up like we just saw it. So if you're jumping into this as, you know, you've just gotten your cow, what are some things that you're going to need to think about when you're setting up your area?
Here's just a real quick one. You'll notice that we're on dirt right here. And I think that is the way to go if you're going to milk a cow or 2. And then what we'll do is we'll just put bedding down for her. And the bedding does a couple of things. Like occasionally she'll decide that, hey, this is a good place to urinate. If I have concrete here, the urine goes on the concrete. If it's really cold, it'll freeze, and then it's there until I get it off of there somehow. Another thing about concrete is she will move around a lot on concrete. She's not used to it. She starts moving around on it. If it's slippery in any way, she could fall, and then she's in the head gate hanging there. I
Okay.
don't want that. So we think that the best way to do it is just on the dirt with
Natural
bedding
floor.
like this.
Okay.
It's a lot cheaper.
Anything in particular with your stanchion? You showed us your stanchion. It's pretty simple, but anything that you should think about as a new person jumping into this?
What I've done here that you may notice is there's a partition here, so it's a wall, and my grain is on the inside of that. So it's a fail-safe in case somebody leaves that gate open and you know all the feed bags are in here. The cows could come in here and they could really make a mess, and I know that because it's happened twice. And so I built this that even if the cows were to get in here, they can't get into the grain. And that's pretty important because a cow is one of those animals that will eat way too much of something that they really like. And they can actually, it's called foundering, and they're not really designed to eat grain, they're designed to eat grass. And if they eat a whole bunch of grain, I mean a lot, they'll founder, it's bloating, is what it is, and a cow can die. I've actually had a cow
Gotcha.
that got into a whole bunch of bred at another place she was being bred at, and she foundered and died.
Really?
Actually,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're gonna want to keep your grain really locked up when
Grain
considering
needs
this.
to be secure.
And you guys have it in tins, so it's rodent proof, and then behind a wall, so it's cow proof.
Yeah. Cats and cows kind of go together. There doesn't seem to be a problem with cats. Cats eat mice, so they don't hurt the cows. The cows don't really care about the cats.
Symbiotic relationship.
Symbiotic relationship, yeah.
One other thing Mark just mentioned, super important when working with cows: remain calm.
Yeah, I saw this when I was at another dairy. When the cow is hooked up and she's eating her grain, after she finishes her grain, you want to keep things quiet. You know, it's sort of a solemn, quiet, keep your voice down, so she's relaxed. Say that you are a homesteader and your job makes it so that you can't milk before you go to work in the morning and you're going to milk after you work. Well, that's better than not milking at all. But if you can kind of keep it the same time of day, it would be a good thing to try and shoot for. Is a routine. She'll get in a routine. Okay, this is when I get milk. She might even be waiting for you. These guys are usually up 8 o'clock in the morning. They're standing right there bellowing.
And we got a late start today and ended up having to go get her.
Yeah.
Okay.
we had to go get her. So we violated her.
We disrupted her routine.
Yeah, we did. So I should give her extra grain, right?
I think that's the deal.
Yeah. A cooperative relationship that we have. You know, she gives me her milk. I feed her milk to my children. So I really like her, and I show her a little bit of affection when I can, and she gets used to it. You ready? Ready? There you go.
Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl.
So then this is all going to go get bottled.
Yep. That's the way we do it. We're done. Lights off when you leave.
Besides just hot water, he uses a couple of different things on his milking equipment.
Yeah.
Can you run me through that real quick?
So it's real important to get this stuff clean, real clean. So there's a couple of different products that I use. It doesn't matter the name of them. This is a decalcification. It's
Agent.
You know, we're dealing with a calcium-based liquid, so when it comes in contact with the steel and the rubber parts, it can build up on them. So we put a little bit of that in here, not much, really not much at all, just like a half a glug, not that much, and then hot water on top of that.
All right, so I hope that helped you guys out. I know I definitely learned a couple things. If you're looking for the next video in this series, something really important is Mark's fencing system. We went out the other day and he showed me exactly how he goes about fencing in his pasture, rotationally grazing his cows, and honestly, there's a lot of counterintuitive stuff that you wouldn't think about. So click on this video, do yourself a favor, check this out. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, drop them in the comments. We're gonna be answering questions. If you like the video, give it a like. If you wanna see more here, go ahead and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video.